I've waited 30 years to say these words. I'm speaking today from my heart because this issue is very personal to me. Abortion has impacted my life so negatively that I am compelled to speak out, as I did this past January on the steps of the Supreme Court at the March for Life. I was one of 2 women from Ohio of the Silent No More awareness campaign. Back in the early 80s, I'd been ridiculed at the art school I attended for being one of the last 21-year-old virgins. I decided I'd better change that, and just like that, I got pregnant. I didn't go to my parents for help. I never gave them a chance. They were good people, working hard and sacrificing to put 4 kids through college, worried about multiple tuitions, the mortgage, taxes, and the rest. Like everyone else, they had their own problems, and I didn't want to burden them with mine. Those I involved and I reflexively turned to abortion. Up until then, I didn't know much about it. Roe v. Wade got passed in my teen years, and sex ed was shortly in our public school curriculum. I remember being taught about all the different forms of birth control, including the IUD and abortion methods with a lot of clinical euphemisms. No one talked about abortion as wrong, as killing a developing baby. Not in the pulpit, not on TV, not in my school, and it was not discussed at home. Roe v. Wade kind of insidiously crept into all our lives. Never would we know how much impact it would have. I remember the voices, including the counselor at the clinic. Your child will hate and resent you. You'll have a miserable life. No man will want you. It's not your time to be a mom. You better hurry up and decide or the price goes up. Remember to respect the reproductive freedom that others have fought so hard for. I specifically asked if this was a baby and was told no, it's a formless blob of tissue at this stage. So it was I who, as a sensitive 8-year-old child worried about the fish dying from pollution on the shores of Lake Erie, who ultimately signed down the dotted line, who take responsibility. Full of fear and having no idea of the gravity of what I was doing, a small voice inside me told me this was wrong. I felt like an animal chewing itself out of a steel trap at the prospect of abortion. Never was it brought up that there were people all over the country who would have helped me if my family couldn't. Like a lamb to the slaughter, I went ahead with this. The brochure stated there may be a brief period of sadness. It was the worst day of my life, and the month following included severe pain and complications too graphic and gruesome to talk about here, that I was too afraid to seek medical help for. My parents knew something was terribly wrong and asked me if I needed to go to the ER. But I couldn't tell them. I have to face them with the truth, as well as the doctors and the nurses. There's a good chance I was sterilized due to an incomplete abortion. I knew the day it happened, I'd made a very bad choice, a monumental disaster. But it really hit home when I visited a health museum and stared into the eyes of an 8-week-old fetus in formaldehyde. This was no formless blob. This was undeniably a baby with a body, hands, feet, fingers, toes, and a face. I stood there beyond horrified. I really realized that I killed my own baby who should have been protected at this fragile stage of development. I couldn't tell the people I was with, which included family members, because of the secrecy and intense shame I felt. You see, abortion is a practice that happens in the shadows. It's a stain on your life that impacts every moment of your life, even your sleep. My heart was shattered and broken in a million pieces at that moment. Nothing mattered anymore. I didn't know what to do with this pain. Powerful, destructive, and intense pain I'd never known could exist. This moment was pivotal and transformational for me. It caused me to slowly face the truth about abortion. Thus began a 3-decade nightmare of unending guilt and sorrow. With the advent of the information age and technology, just as that fetus silently told me the truth, there's no denying science. I've known for a long time now that my baby had a beating heart. Even one of the founding members of NARAL, the National Abortion Rights Action League, Dr. Bernard Nathanson, an OBGYN who had presided over thousands of abortions, completely changed his views with ultrasound technology. I've seen the images of abortion and its brutality, and I will never be the same. Every irreplaceable person conceived on this planet is unique and bestowed to us as a gift. The maternal and paternal bond is stamped into us. We're not meant to destroy our children, like that baby Corey, who was here 2 weeks ago, or Melissa, who spoke so eloquently last week. That's who abortion kills. Knowing that I killed my own precious baby who had a beating heart has traumatized and devastated me miserably beyond description, and has destroyed so much happiness, and has led to chronic migraine pain easily triggered by inconsolable grieving over my loss. An unplanned pregnancy would have led to unplanned joy. I regret this choice with every fiber of my heart and soul. An abortion doesn't happen in a vacuum. It hurt my family and me, most of all my baby. It's been a long and uphill road to healing. Our current First Lady once said that her daughters are the first thing she thinks about when she awakes and the last thing she thinks about when she falls asleep. Guess what? I'm the same way. Only my baby is gone. I've thought about and loved this baby intensely every day of my life for almost 30 years, and I was never a mom to another child due to infertility. This means that in a moment of haste, in my youth, not fully informed, I killed the only child I ever conceived. If I would have seen an ultrasound, would have seen that beating heart, wild horses could not have kept me in that clinic. I would have known the truth and my baby would be alive today. That's why I'm here. Please vote yes on this important legislation. There are loving alternatives to abortion, and there are many people and programs ready to assist those facing an unplanned pregnancy. My message to you today may seem ironic, but it's true. The lives you save by passing this bill will be those of the mothers and fathers of Ohio's unborn children. And by the way, if you Google abortion and suicide, you get millions of hits. So it's got some impact out there. Vote yes on House Bill 125. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brett. I appreciate that. Any questions for the witness? Thank you very much, ma'am.